Hey everybody, my name is Paul Esden Jr., aka Boy Green. I work for Heavy.com, and we've got a special guest joining us, a Pro Football Hall of Famer, the NFL's all-time leading rusher. But I know him a little bit differently because my father, Paul Andrew Esden Sr., a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan, introduced me to Emmitt very early in my life because he used to run through my house screaming, "Emmitt!" So we bring him on the show. Emmitt, gosh darn Smith, baby. What's up, Emmitt?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm fired up, and again, that's how I was raised in a Dallas Cowboys household with a lot of screaming of Emmitt, and my father running through the house with a Dallas Cowboys flag before every game. So a special connection to you, Emmitt.
Oh, thank you. That's
So
awesome.
Emmitt, yeah, we'll talk about your partnership with Bud Light here in just a second, but of course, I mentioned it, the NFL's all-time leading rusher, baby, 18,355. And all records are meant to be broken. But, Emmitt, I got to ask you, especially considering the current stage of status of the running back position, will your all-time NFL record ever be topped?
You know, I get asked that so much, and at the state of the NFL, the way you just described it, it appears like it would be a long time for that record to come down. Just like anything else in life, NFL is cyclical as well. It may bounce back and go back into the favor of the running back at some point when they come to realize that most of these quarterbacks are just not able to read coverages and not that good football players as we once thought they were. Some of these guys are developing into those kind of quality football players, but and you hear the announcers talking about the level of maturity of some quarterbacks and how they need the running game to help support that. That's what the running games provide. It provides the young quarterback the opportunity to grow into the role as a starting quarterback. Until he's ready, they lean on a running game to make that happen. So I find the value in a running game extremely high, unlike most people want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Emmitt. I know you've probably been asked that first question a lot. Do you ever want it to be topped?
No. No, not personally. I mean,
Yeah.
um, but I do understand this. And I say that jokingly, but I do know that records are made to be broken. If a human did it before, a human can come back and do it again. Now, will it ever happen? I don't know. I really don't know. At the stage of the game right now, it's unlikely in my lifetime, unless something drastically change in the next year or two, which I can't imagine that's happening.
All right, interesting. Again, we're speaking with Emmitt "Gosh darn Smith" here, everybody, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Dallas Cowboys legend. But, Emmitt, let me ask you this. When you look back at your wonderful, amazing career in football, do you wish that you retired only ever having played for the Dallas Cowboys?
No, I do not. I tell you, having closure has a lot to do with being able to walk away from the game free spirited, free mind, and not look back. And I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to go to Arizona and play with Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden, Josh McCown, Josh Scobie, Damon Anderson, James Hodgins, and other players as well, Adrian Wilson, and so on. I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to go and have that experience, because once I said I was done, I knew I was done. And because closure is the one thing that has give the person the ability to be free to go and do things that they truly want to do, versus looking over their shoulder and wondering, should I play some more? I could have did this. No. Mine's done.
All right. Let me ask you this. In your book, The Emmitt Zone, which was published back in October of 1995, you talked about your career goals entering the league. What were those goals, and how'd you manifest those into existence?
Wow. On my goal list, obviously, wanting to win more games. I had two sets of goals. I had team goals, then I had individual goals. I'm going to say team goals first. Wanting to win more games than 1-15 in '89, which the Cowboys won in 15. Want to have a better season. Want to get in the playoff. wanting to win Super Bowls, wanting to, just not one, but multiple Super Bowls. Then individual goals, wanting to play 13 years in the National Football League because Walter Payton played 13 years in the National Football League. Wanted to become the all-time leading rusher, wanting to be Rookie of the Year, become an All-Pro, become a Pro Bowler every year, wanted to rush for 125 yards per game, wanted to get over 2,000 yards, wanted to score more touchdowns than anybody. All these things was on my list.
Well, I have to highlight one of those, Emmitt. You mentioned the all-time leading rusher. Let me just get out my glasses here because old Emmitt Smith, you were drafted in 1990. The book publishes in 1995. You didn't break the NFL's all-time leading rusher till less than a decade later. Emmitt, sure, someone's saying, hey, I want to lead the league in rushing. Okay, sure, I want $1 billion. But Emmitt Smith, you said you wanted to lead the league in rushing at the end of your career, be the all-time NFL leading rusher. And you said it in your fourth or fifth season as this book is being written and then ultimately published? That's wild. How did you make that happen? You spoke it into existence.
I actually said it before the book. I wrote it down on my goal sheet in 1990. And James Washington was one of my teammates that actually saw my goal list. Michael Irvin asked me before we played the Rams my rookie year, and I think it was his first game back, he was my roommate. And he asked the question, what did I wanted to accomplish in the game? And I told him I wanted to become the all-time leading rusher. He started laughing. And so yes, you can call it manifest. Yes, I manifested it. Yes, God blessed me with the talent and the drive and the determination to try to do it. But most importantly, he blessed me to be with the organization that afforded me the opportunity to do it. To do great things, people have to give you the opportunity to do it. And I had that opportunity through the Dallas Cowboys and through our offense. And they relied on me. They trusted me with it. I earned that their respect. And in return, they gave me my opportunities.
Well, blessed be he for that. Amen. Emmitt Smith, you're joining us here on the program. And Emmitt, you're here because you've partnered with Bud Light. Let's give a shout out to Bud Light, which is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. And it's tapping Super Bowl champions and NFL Hall of Famers Peyton Manning and Emmitt Smith, who's joining us here now ahead of the 2023-2024 NFL playoff to show off the Super Bowl level excitement of throwing and receiving a game-winning pass in a new TV commercial. Easy Receivers. The campaigns also introduces the brand's biggest Super Bowl ticket giveaway ever, where the more fans show their Bud Light love, the more chances they have to win. Starting December 1st, fans of the age of 21 or older can enter for chances to win playoff and Super Bowl tickets by scanning Bud Light QR codes, showing off their Bud Light love on their social channels, and checking back every week for more opportunities to enter. Additional prizes include tickets to the Bud Light Backyard Tour, presents Zach Bryan concert, and gift cards to Uber Eats and Instacart to help fans stock up for at-home Super Bowl parties. So, Emmitt, Bud Light sponsorship, juicy. We love it, baby.
They are creating experiences for people to have a complete understanding of what the Super Bowl is all about. And kudos to Bud Light for doing that and reaching out to people and giving them an opportunity to have an experience at playoff games, also during the Super Bowl and at the Super Bowl. So all the things that you just mentioned, the Instacart stuff and everything else, they're trying to make sure that your Super Bowl experience is truly a good one.
All right, Emmitt, let's get a couple of questions on the current Dallas Cowboys before we get you out of here. Let me just ask you this straight up. Is Dak Prescott the right quarterback for the Cowboys to get them back to the Super Bowl?
I would say yes, and I would ask someone who asked me that question, who's better that we can go get? Nobody.
Touché.
So, nobody. So let's not talk about getting rid of somebody. He's the best we got. He's the best that's out there right now that we can go get. You can't go get anybody better. So let's just stay with what we have and allow him to go ahead and grow. Allow McCarthy to grow ahead and grow the offense and expand the offense to allow Dak the versatility to throw the ball all over the field to different players instead of trying to squeeze everything into one or two players.
Well, that very fair. And as a former running back, Emmett, I have to ask you: do you think Dallas needs to make a splash this offseason? Add another running back to the room. I took a peek ski at some of the free agency: Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley. I mean, there's some names out there. Emmett, is it time for one of those guys to slap the star on the side of the helmet?
I don't think so. I think we got two good ones. I think Tony Pollard and Dowell are great combinations. So I don't see no need to really go and do that. The only reason why you would do that is to truly make a splash in PR aspect of it, because I think you got two great ones. You bring in a Derrick Henry or a Saquon Barkley in here. Now, I mean, you still got great football players. You still have great football players, and some of them do things differently. Tony Pollard gives you a lot more flexibility in the offense. I'm not sure Derrick Henry would do that. I'm not sure Saquon Barkley would do that. And so when you put Dowdle and Barkley, not Barkley, but Dowdle and
Pollard,
Tony Pollard in the game together, it's different dynamics, just different dynamics. And so I like what we have.
Okay, look at Emmett.
I think if we look in other places, we're spending energy and time and focus in areas that we don't need to.
Look
It's
at
a
that.
distraction to me.
I love that. Resisting the urge to press the big button in the room. Everyone wants to get sexy and get some of these names. You're like, nah, we're pretty good with the room we have. All right, Emmett, last one before we get you out of here. CeeDee Lamb is scheduled to be an unrestricted free agent in 2025. He's eligible for a contract extension. Right now, he's having a career year. He's amazing. Okay, I was just about to ask you, what's the message to Jerry Jones ahead of these contract discussions for a long-term deal for number 88? What's your message?
Pay him.
How much?
Pay him his due. I mean, it's early. You see how the season is going. You see the value that he's bringing. The best ability is availability. And he has been available to the Dallas Cowboys ever since he gotten here. And he has performed ever since he's been here. And he's getting better because the offense is expanding and people can't key on him like they were early in the season. And now just pay the man his money.
Fair enough. Emmitt Smith, also one of your other business ventures, could be CeeDee Lamb's agent. Pay the man. I think he loves it. So go ahead and join the group there, Mr. Emmitt Smith. Well, Emmett, I want to thank you. I want to thank Bud Light for making all of this possible. An absolute dream to share a few minutes with you here on the show. Thank you for taking the time. Again, you're a legend. Bow down to Emmitt Gastard Smith, baby.
Thank you.
All right, there he is, Emmitt Smith, Dallas Cowboys legend. And thanks again to Bud Light for making this happen. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Take care.